I'm gonna start over the YouTube stream. You have a second, y'all. Perfect. What's up, YouTube?
Hey.
What's up? Hi, how's it going?
Fine. Wait, hold on. Okay, it's fixed.
We have YouTube up. What's up, YouTube? We have TikTok up. What's up, your TikTok? If you support Donald Trump, you join up in the guest box. I don't know how long I'm going to be on, probably an hour and a half. So if you support Trump, join up in the guest box. Love to talk to you. Love to have a with you. Love to have a conversation with you tonight. It might take me a while to load up the YouTube chat.
Yo, it's Crack-a-lackin'.
Yo, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, because he's pro-life. So what's your argument for pro-choice? You gonna have one for me this time? You're gonna run again.
Oh
like
my
little
God.
bitch. Oh my God, they're gonna run. What's your argument for pro-choice? Calm down. Premise one. Go ahead.
So
Don't pause.
I'm not gonna,
You're gonna run.
So I'm a man, and I'm not gonna debate another man.
Oh, so if we have a law that says take away all the testes of males, women can't talk about it? Reductio. What else you got, buddy?
Hold on.
You gonna give me the argument for pro-choice, or are you gonna stall and be passive-aggressive and cope smile like a little bitch that you are? Oh, there goes the cope smile and the laugh. Oh, you gonna cry for me? Can you actually give me the argument, or are you gonna just sit there like a little dumbbell? Hello?
Perfect.
Bro, Bart, if you shut up, you could talk.
Hey, yeah, can you give me the argument now? Go ahead. I'll mute up and I'll just wait. Let's see how long it takes them, folks. Everybody in the audience, let's see. Let's count.
Perfect.
Fucking stun locked.
So I'm gonna ask you a question in terms of abortion.
Don't ask me the question. Give me the argument. A question is not an argument.
Hold on. Depending on your
answer, give me the argument for the pro-choice. Give me the argument for pro-choice. Don't run.
Before you were rudely interrupted.
Poor little boy is crying all the way home.
Interrupted me.
Rudely interrupted.
I'm not going to have a conversation about abortion with another man. Okay, that's just a waste of my time, and that's a waste of your time. You're not actually pro-life, you're pro-birth. So I have a question for you. You know what? If you're able to answer my question, I'll have the. If you
please argument, right? I'll even informal argument. Holy fuck! Why are you crashing out of your own?
I'm crashing now. Chat, am I crashing now? I'm not muting you. I am not muting you.
Your mods.
Mods are free to do whatever they want as long as it's within the boundaries.
They running defense for you so badly.
It's maybe because you won't shut up. That's why.
Because you won't give an argument. You're just talking about asking me a question.
Maybe if you learn how to shut up, I can give you an argument.
I can't believe I'm so bored that I came back to grill you the fuck again after you ran the first time.
Perfect. So can I ask you a question?
Can you give me an argument for pro-choice? Yes or no?
Yeah. If I
no, don't ask me a question. Just give me the argument for pro-choice, bro. I just want to hear it. Just give me an argument for pro-choice.
I'm going to ask you a hypothetical.
Just give me an argument for pro-choice. Maybe after you give me the argument and we discuss that, I can entertain your question, but I'm not going to let you dodge. Just give me an argument for pro-choice, and then we can talk about whatever you have in your head canon. Hey, what's up, Rancho? Love you.
Cool. So my question to you is just going to be...
I'm just waiting for that argument for pro-choice. That's going to be dodge number... I lost count, actually. Probably 5, 6, 7. Are you just going to sit there and cope smug like a little dummy all day long and be passive-aggressive and try to pretend that you actually have a defense for your substantially dumb fucking idiotic worldview? Or you can actually produce any sort of defense for it, any sort of argument, right? Stunlocked?
Are you done?
Coping? Yeah, I'm just waiting for the argument, bro. I'm actually this bored.
If anyone's coping, that you're coping,
bored. I'm asking you for the argument and you're running away.
Bro,
like a dumbbell, like a dipshit, like an ultracrepidarian, like a scrofulous caprophagous
I don't think you understand.
Bro, why are you
that you ask people to say something and then you give them about maybe a quarter of a second to respond before you start talking.
Our question is not...
Okay, can you calm down? Calm down. Calm down.
Dude, be fine. I'm sipping.
Calm down. Calm down. Are you going to be quiet? Maybe we could have a conversation if you'd shut the fuck up.
Please just give me an argument. Obviously, I'll take Eddie. Any argument.
We can keep going, dude. We can keep going.
Can't you muzzle your seriously just provide me of substance sitting there with the fact that he's getting his muzzle and his
holy shit. You
are like muzzling. Mods are like running forth. They can't even like actually. Oh, what?
All right, mods. Give it a second. Give it a second, mods.
Look at how muzzled.
This is an emotional little man. We know how to deal.
Oh, poor little boy.
We know how to deal with emotional little man.
He's projecting his inability to substantiate any sort of position.
Deal with emotional little man.
Dude,
I have a question.
I'm having a grand time here. Trust me, I'm not upset or emotional whatsoever. I'm just very ecstatic at the fact that you're sitting there stun locked like a little bitch, right? Because you can't actually express any sort of defense for review. Now, I could very easily just like shut up and let you pontificate with the same bullshit that you do every single day on your life.
So I'm the host of this live.
I'm actually wondering if you could produce.
So hold on, mods.
Because that's
perfect.
I'm here to argue with you about abortion, and you won't engage me. I'm asking you to engage me. I'm pleading with you. I am imploring you. How many more synonyms do you want me to use? Right?
But instead, you're running for 2 fucking seconds.
Shut up, bro. I'll cook you after this, man. It's okay. I'll cook you after this.
I will engage with your argument.
Yeah, please give me your argument
to talk to my YouTube chat. I am the host of this live stream.
Okay, yeah.
You want to interrupt me while I talk to my YouTube,
you can boot.
Right?
Run.
Hold on.
Can we kick him and bring him back up?
Certainly run away.
Hold on. I don't want to boot you. I don't want to boot you. I just want to talk to my YouTube chat real quick. Is that cool?
Explain.
We're just going to spam mute you then, mods. You know what to do. Just spam mute that guy until I adjust the YouTube chat. Hey, what's up, YouTube chat? What's up, Johnson? Appreciate everyone in here. We have about we had almost 30 something people in here. So if you're here, make sure to hit that thumbs up on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're over on YouTube. And if you're over on TikTok, make sure to double tap that phone. We're trying to get to 10,000 likes, folks. Repost, live, share the live, do all the wonderful things.
Sort of like.
Now, if you're over here watching, we've been having a conversation or attempting to have a conversation with Bart over here on TikTok. And this is an emotional little man. Bart, I have a question for you.
Right. Said so. I to contest with. So maybe if you actually said something worthwhile, I can respond to it. Can you produce something worthwhile, like an informal or formal argument, you dumb fuck? Or are you just going to sit there like a nice little cope laugh and cope smile?
Brother, you haven't shut the fuck up for the past 10 seconds or 10 minutes.
Well, he's not actually producing an argument. Right, yeah. I can certainly mute up and he'll produce premise what? Or he'll produce an informal argument without a premise and I can respond. Let's see if he does that. I'm going to mute up for 10 seconds. Let's see if he starts doing that. Or he's going to sit there like a smug little bitch again and smile because he has no defense for his worldview, right? Because he knows he's getting grilled on his own fucking platform. You dumb fuck. Why are you... Oh, good. Actually, bro.
I mean, you said you would mute up. I'm just waiting for you to mute up so I can respond.
Hey, look, 10 seconds. He actually gives.
Can you wait longer than 10 seconds? I might wait for more than 10 seconds.
If you actually giving an argument, start giving an argument. Really,
you won't stop talking. How is he supposed to speak?
Wait. Bro, I'll mute you for a second. I'll mute you. Okay, look, I will literally let you say whatever the fuck you want as long as you actually produce 1 second. Oh my God. The one time I'm actually trying to like engage with this guy directly, he starts talking. Shut the fuck up for a second, bro. I know it's your forum. This is a public forum. You invited me up here or you accepted my request to come up here and you're now being forced to explain what your position is, but you're not engaging. So I'm asking you very directly, just either produce an argument, I'll mute up. And if you start asking me a question, you're going to be running. Got it? Here. Muting. Go ahead.
I will give you $150 if you don't talk for a minute straight.
I don't care about your fucking money, dude. Even if you gave me $1,000, I don't give a fuck about your money. I got plenty of money. Just give me the fucking argument, you dumb fuck.
You don't want $150?
No, why would I don't care about money, dude. I'm like independently
any reasonable,
give me your fucking argument. Give me your fucking argument.
Any reasonable person.
Dipshit. Any reasonable person. I don't care about the money. You can actually, maybe if you offer me actually 15 grand or 150,000, I might consider it. But $150, dude, I spend that like in 2 hours. Okay, so just give me the fucking argument. I don't care about your
how much money for you to not talk for a minute straight? I don't care about,
okay, just actually give me the argument. I said like I would mute up if you actually give me the argument. If you actually give me the argument, so please provide anything of substance.
You gave me
your worldview, right? And you're not actually providing that. So now I'm actually going to keep talking over you because you didn't produce the thing that I asked.
How much money? How much money?
Oh my God, dude,
how much money for you to not talk for a minute straight?
Give me the argument, dumb fuck.
How much money?
There's no amount of money that would actually.
Yeah, if I gave you $100,000 right now,
there was nothing. No, I don't give a fuck about your money, dude. I don't give a fuck about your money. Just give me the argument. Why are you running away? He's trying to buy his way out, folks. He's trying to buy his way out. This dumb fuck, ultra-crepidarian, idiotic, leftist piece of shit, dumb fuck, is trying to buy his way out from the argument. Right? Wait, let me take a sip of my Diet Coke because I'm actually getting tongue dry right now.
Yeah, I wonder why. Holy shit.
Oh my God, that's so much better. Actually, it was Diet Pepsi, which is arguably better than Diet Coke.
Eagles? What's up?
Anyways, dummy, can I get the argument? Please, I'll mute up. Let's see how long it takes him this time. If he's just going to sit there stunlocked like a little bitch again, swiping his mouth, going all with fiddly with his fingers, trying to make it seem like he's tough and strong while still saying nothing because he's got nothing going on up there. He's a dumb fucking idiot. Let's see how long it takes him. W. William Gorman. Stunlocked little bitch.
Oh my God.
It wasn't even 1 second.
Okay, fine.
Not even 1 second.
Let's see 20 seconds.
I put a timer on. Do you know how long you lasted?
You didn't say anything. You didn't start saying anything.
0.78 second. 0.78 of a second.
You didn't
Not even a full second. Could we get a piece of
Let's see.
not even a second.
See how long you go.
Dude, I will make a deal with you. I will make a deal with you. Okay. And this will prove if you're honest or dishonest. If you cannot talk for 10 seconds, I will give you my argument. Do you want to make that deal?
Deal.
Cool. We're going to set a timer. We're going to set a timer on, okay? 10 seconds. And if you're able, I want you to be off mute. Unmute yourself right now. Unmute yourself. You know how to do that.
Bro, why? Why does it matter?
If you don't talk for 10 seconds, I will give you my argument. Do you have a deal?
You're making a deal right now. 10 seconds.
Do we have a deal? 10 seconds. Do we have a deal?
Unmuting. You're going to give an argument.
Do we have a deal? Yes or no?
Start the timer. Yeah. 10 seconds. Go.
10 seconds. Hold on. 3, 2,
1.5, 2.
Congratulations. You're able to be quiet for 10 seconds. I'm proud of you. I'm absolutely proud of you. I am so proud of you. Oh my God. Can we get some baby bottles in the chat? Can we get some clapping hands in the chat, please? Can we get some baby bottles? Jesus,
bro, my idol is in the background, bro.
One more time.
My idol's in the background. Eps.
Yeah, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I just appreciate his policies with other countries.
Foreign policy? Yeah, which ones?
Huh?
Foreign policies? Yeah, which ones?
Yeah, I mean, as much as people think that tariffs are the devil, I don't believe it. I think it creates a little bit more pressure on other countries to work with America, to trade, and to have better prices. I think it drives the economy up, even though, everyone is saying right now the economy is down. And I see the statistics, and I'm not saying that it's not up. It's not up right now. I agree with that. But I mean, I do think the idea of tariffs is not necessarily a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay. What's a tariff?
It's basically a tax on goods, import and export.
Okay. So if tariffs are this amazing thing that's going to bring back the economy, why did he put a pause on them for 90 days? And then my next question would be, what kind of deals did we get out of the tariff war? Like, what did we gain out of it? What was the benefits out of it?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, you can just you basically see, so the United States put tariffs on, I think, a bunch of different countries. I think I can't name them all off the top of my head, but a bunch of different countries, right? Because they had tariffs on us. We were getting taxed on our imported goods. So basically, when Trump came in office, he basically gave reciprocal tariffs, right?
Not reciprocal. Reciprocal means the same amount of tariffs that they were giving us, and they used a formula. They used a formula that was not reciprocal. So no, not reciprocal tariffs. If it were reciprocal, then he wouldn't have tariffed a penguin, an island penguin, the McDonald Island, where it's inhabited by penguins. Okay, so no, it's not reciprocal. He doesn't know what a tariff is. But then again, can you give me like the countries and then the tariff that they had on us, and then what it was after the tariff war to see the benefits of it? I mean, you claim that there were like benefits, so I'm trying to see what we accomplished with the tariff war in 2025.
Well, the tariff war, I know that there was a couple different countries. There was, I believe, I believe there was China. I believe there was Mexico. I think there was Canada too, if I'm not crazy. But
China, what tariff was China? What tariff did China have on us before we implemented tariffs on them?
I couldn't tell you that. Like, I'm not going to act like I'm the smartest tool in the shed, but like, I couldn't tell you that.
That's fine. I mean, I couldn't tell you the exact number either. That's kind of why I was asking you. But my premise of my argument here would just be the fact that most of these countries, A, either went back to just how it was, or B, in terms of China, it actually that it caused it caused a tariff war, and then we ended up losing, right? Because we are the one. They are the ones that put tariffs on us.
But I think the question that I would have for you to kind of ask that, do you not believe in the idea of tariffs at all, like just in general, or do you think it has to be used the right way?
I think it has to be used the right way. Targeted tariffs. I think it's good, especially if we want to, like, in terms of countries that are exploiting their workers. I think that targeted tariffs on certain companies and countries would be like great in terms of that. I can even work diplomatically, but targeted or global blanket tariffs is not a good thing, especially if you don't know what you're doing with it, and if you're taking them off, putting them back on, taking them off, putting them back on. But I do agree with targeted tariffs to an extent.
Yeah.
And I would agree with like global blanket tariffs if you were able to prove that there was going to be more benefits than negatives. But so far, the first year, we've only seen negatives. That's why I am firmly against global blanket tariffs.
No, for sure. And like I said, I don't think the economy is in a good place at all. I mean, trust me, I was reading a statistic the other day and it was like, I don't know if it was true. Like, it could have been totally misspoken. So if I'm speaking lies, feel free to let me know. But it was like some crazy statistic that was like $120,000 is the same value as $40,000 was in 2002 or something like that. Like as far as like a salary goes. And, you know, for me, I have, 3 kids and a wife, and it's just like, I cannot make enough money to.
How old are your kids? Are they like under 18?
Yeah, I got 4, 2, and like a 4-month-old. So
do you benefit from like the child tax credits?
Which, like, are you talking about like just like the annual child tax credits that you can get for like $2,600 or something like that? I think it is.
Yeah.
I think I qualified for I didn't get like the child incentive bonus that Trump introduced because of where I live, my zip code, because like the median income in my zip code is like over $70,000. I think it is. Right. I didn't benefit from that. I only got federal tax credits this year. I didn't get state because I just make over the threshold. I think you have to make $82,000 as a household income to qualify for the state child tax credit in Colorado. And
I guess my point with asking that is theoretically, if you did qualify for those, it would be more under Harris, right? I mean, I know you said you don't qualify, but now knowing that you make less than $400,000 a year, you're still going to be negatively impacted. I mean, a tariff is a tax on consumers at the end of the day. People like me and you who don't make more than $400,000 per year. Not only that, I mean, people around you, right? People in the same position that you are, just that make less, that would qualify for the $6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life, and then $3,000 after them being 14. I could be mistaken there. So that would benefit them, right? And then in terms of if people who own like a business and for first-time home buyers as well, these would all be like tax credits that the people would get that would greatly benefit them. And in terms of like what Donald Trump is doing, according to an institute, I forget which institute it is, but the big beautiful bill mainly impacts benefitly the top 10%. Because of the tax cuts being given to them. Now, I agree that the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act did give tax cuts to like the middle class, but not as much as it did to the top 10%. And then the thing is with that, we're still trying to attempt trickle down economics. That doesn't work. There's no incentive for it to trickle down. But I mean, if you wanted to like benefit yourself and like not even yourself, just people around you, people in your city, town, wherever you live, you should have voted for Harris because they would have definitely benefited from what she had to offer.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's more to stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with Harris, and I don't want to get into all of the deep details about Harris, but when it came to my decision, this sounds like entitled, but like both of my parents and my in-laws are very wealthy. They're business owners, and I saw
make more than 400,000.
Yeah.
Then they'd benefit from Trump. Yeah,
100%. And I think I liked the idea of it, and I think this is the problem with new ideas and people trying new things. Of hey, let's give a tax credit to the big businesses, the most wealthy people in America. So in turn, that they would invest more in their companies and create more jobs. I get the idea of it, but it's just not happening. And I'm kind of curious of trying to understand why big businesses and stuff like that are actually making hands over fist more than what they made it maybe underneath the Biden administration. And yet
you're asking like why trickle down economics doesn't work.
Yeah. I guess
there's just like no incentive at all. That's what I was trying to say. Like, there's no incentives for trickle down economics. Now, you made a couple points there. Now, I think you said your in-laws own businesses, so they greatly benefit from Donald Trump, especially if they make more than $40,000 a year. But my point to this would be, I mean, it is kind of selfish. You said it yourself. Because of the fact that you're caring more about these people that which is understandable. You should like put your family first, but at the end of the day, like a couple, like I don't know, like how much your family makes in terms of their business, but I don't think it compares to the 400,000 kids per month that are going to lose access to free lunch because of the Trump administration. It doesn't compare to the $1 trillion cut of Medicaid and food stamps over the next 10 years and work requirements imposed on Medicaid. That's absurd. That's unprecedented. I mean, we already have 50,000 lives unnecessarily lost every year because they don't have access to the right healthcare. That's just going to increase that number because they're getting cut off of it. I mean, 22 million Americans. And then he literally refused to pay like food stamps during the government shutdown when judges told him to do so. So I guess my point here would just be, I think you should care more about the hundreds of thousands of children and the millions of people that are going to be impacted greater than just tax cuts for businesses that won't pass it down to their workers, right? Because again, there's no incentive. No one can provide me an incentive as to why trickle-down economics would work, right? There's no incentive for big businesses to pass down the tax cuts that they get and pass it down to their workers. I mean, if that were the case, then Reaganomics would have worked, right? But since Reaganomics, I mean, it's been horrible. Wages have not kept up in terms of how much the billionaires and corporations are making. I mean, you see the difference. Like the billionaires are making, I think it's 77 times more than the average worker. I mean, 700 and something times, don't quote me on that, but they're making a shit ton more than your average worker. That's unacceptable. I mean, if I looked at the statistics, if we kept up with how much the corporations were making, right now the minimum wage should be around like $60 an hour. Yeah. And the federal minimum wage is just $7.25. That is absurd. There's no incentive for trickle down economics.
Do you think so? I've seen a lot of people or a lot of representatives or state representatives or anything to do with the U.S. government try and push. I think even Mamdani pushed for this too. But raising the minimum wage in certain, like in their states, or, you know, mostly it's state specific. But the only issue that I see with that is it's kind of a push and pull method, right? So you raise the minimum wage from, I think in Colorado, I think now it's like 16 something, I think, or maybe it's 17, I think is what this Colorado is. But if you raise the minimum wage, would you not agree with me in saying that cost of goods then go up as you raise minimum wage?
Okay, so in that aspect, you're talking about like doing it all together. And I'm going to just reference here the federal minimum wage. I think that we should raise it like every year. How we do the kind of states raise their minimum wage, like if they need to every year, like 75 cents. I mean, my state raised it close to like 50 cents. I think that would be a great start in terms of federal minimum wage. I mean, it's $7.25 now. Maybe we could bump it up to $8 for the first year and keep on bumping it up slowly, and also keeping it in accordance with inflation, but not necessarily if you do it like correct. And again, I'm not too well informed. I don't think I don't think I would be the best person to be asking the question, but based on the little knowledge that I have, if you do it like slowly in the right way, which would just be keeping it in pace with inflation, and then if you want to reference like the states minimum wage, I think some of them are like 16. I mean, California's 17, 19. Yeah, some of them are pretty high up there because they're keeping up with inflation. But when I reference the minimum wage, I think we should raise the federal minimum wage. Like I said, start with $8 an hour, and then keep on going up from there, so that we can keep in pace with inflation, keep in pace with also how much the billionaires and the corporations are making. You know, you got to average it out and find the medium of both how much the billionaires are making and then inflation, and go from there.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate that. At least you're honest about things that like you're not like educated on, or like maybe not like the most like you're like, that's not like really the spot that I like excel in. Right. Because, you know, when you look at, I mean, I just always look at like the Parkers and the Deans of the liberal world, and they just piss me off because they just think they're smarter than everybody, and they won't even accept someone bringing up a good point, or like, oh, maybe they actually do have some truth to that statement. It's just like, it's their way or the highway. There's like no in between. And it's just like, I don't know, you're doing it right.
Well, I mean, so I mean, I agreed with you also there, like what you said in terms of it could increase the price of goods if you do it like automatically, raise it from $7.25 to like 36. That's going to be that's going to be like catastrophic, right? So I can agree with you there to some extent, but to the point that you said, definitely. Those people as well. I mean, people who just think, I mean, it's not just it's the right, the left. It's everyone who thinks that they can't learn from other people. Now, typically, I wouldn't accept learning from Trump supporters, mainly because they support Trump. But you seem like a more reasonable person, but with maybe just some push, you wouldn't support Trump. I started this like a year and a half ago, wanting to learn. Right? I mean, I'm not educated in a lot of aspects as I should be. I've been getting better, and I did this because some people do genuinely bring some good points, especially in terms of economics.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that's the only place that I could learn on. Everything else, like in terms of Donald Trump and him raping people, the Epstein files. I think I'm gonna like destroy those people. And I'm well versed in immigration, but in terms of economics, I always love learning more about economics. So I appreciate you being more reasonable, and hopefully with like a little bit more push, more conversations, you'd be open to joining the progressive Democrats that want to progress this country and not regress it.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's funny because, you know, political parties have always been interesting to me. But like at the end of the day, like I'm just going to, and as I get more educated, like I know that I'm still young and I've got a lot of wisdom to gain as my years go on, Lord willing. But like, I don't know, like in my mind, if it's a good candidate that I feel like would actually grow this country and keep our country safe and, you know, do good things for the country, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican. Usually I tend to lean more to the Republican, but like at the end of the day, I'm not perfectly
fine, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for cutting you off, but just real quick, because before I forget, so it's perfectly fine to like vote Republican and like be Republican leaning, But in terms of like finding common ground, I think that like the independents and people who are left leaning, right leaning, should be able to find a common ground that Trump is not a good president. I mean, he's not a good person. He's not a good president. We've only seen negative his first year, now going on to like a year and a half in a couple months. So we've only seen negative effects. Everything that you voted for, I don't know if you voted, but everything that people voted for him during his campaign, no new wars, getting rid of inflation, lower gas prices, releasing the Epstein files. I mean, now we found out that he said, why is Europe buying Russian oil? You guys are funding the Russian war. That's what he said. Now we're going to lift sanctions off of Russian oil. Everything that he said a year ago, he is now contradicting. We were in a war. We're going to lift sanctions off of Russian oil. He's not releasing the Epstein files. In fact, he violated 4 federal laws. Inflation went up to 3% when it was down at 2.4. Gas prices are up because of the war with Iran, right? So everything that it got voted on, he's doing the opposite. But the only thing that you could say would be like immigration, which is he's doing horrible on, in my opinion. But I think we can find some common ground and say like come like right now you shouldn't support Donald Trump, but then come the midterms, come the primaries for the 2028 election, you can pick the best candidate that will genuinely benefit America. Like, I agree with you. If the person who's a better candidate is a Republican, I will be voting for the Republican.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple things. I hate it when. Okay, I did vote for Trump, but like I hate it when and it's probably both sides. I'm not saying that the right doesn't do it too, but it's like when when you talk to other people that didn't maybe vote for Trump, or they're on the left or they're heavy left, and you say, oh, I voted for Trump, they automatically think you're some part of this MAGA cult that's like Trump is a god. And I'm like, no, I don't believe that. Now, did I vote for him because I did think he would bring in a better economy? Because I did see 2016 to 2020, and I was very happy from 2016 to 2020. And, I saw that the economy did pretty well during then, besides the tank and COVID, but you can't control that. Like, in my opinion, if it had happened under the Biden administration, it would have been the exact same way. There's only so much you can do about a pandemic. But, right. I was very happy with that. And I think that's maybe why I did vote for him again. I will say, maybe contradictory for what other people believe in, but I do not mind the Iran war because I do not believe in what they believe in. First of all, I hate the people that are not, I don't hate, that's a wrong word. It's frustrating for the people that are on the left. They're like, I stand with Iran. I stand with all this stuff. But it's like, Iran stands for everything you don't believe in. Like, I don't understand how you can support a country that if you lived in, you would hate. You would be even worse off than you were in the US. And they were gaining nuclear power. We gave them money to get nuclear power. And they're, in a lot of cases, they've been a terroristic state. Now, I'm not saying all the people in Iran, like, it's horrible what happened to the school. Like, I don't believe in that. But like, them having the power to have nuclear power to reach the United States when they kind of have a history with us, I don't think it was the wrong move. And I honestly don't mind the gas prices going up a little bit so that we can settle this and that we can have a safe country and that we don't have to worry about an imminent threat.
Okay, you made a couple of points there. The first question I asked is, because just to finish off the conversation, we can go into the Iran war. Do you regret your vote for Donald Trump?
Not necessarily, no. Not yet.
So hopefully I can change your mind on here on the Iran part. So first off, you said that they were gaining nuclear capabilities in May of 2025 or June, a month before Operation Midnight Hammer. There was a report done that they were 10 years away from gaining nuclear capabilities, right? So in 2035, because this was in 2025. And then a month later, Operation Midnight Hammer happened, which, according to Donald Trump, completely obliterated their nuclear capabilities, which means that they were more than 10 years away now, because we had completely obliterated their progress. Which means that they weren't building nuclear bombs and they had no capability since we completely obliterated them. So it just rules out that point in terms of going to war with Iran. It's not because of nukes or because they could build nukes, because we finished that in 2025. And then another point you mentioned was that we gave them money to buy to make nukes. I'm assuming you're referencing the JCPOA.
Yeah, I'm referencing the $6 million that Biden gave And Obama, I believe, gave like, I don't know the exact number of Obama, but I think it was like $6 billion that Biden gave to Iran. Yeah.
So Obama, the JCPOA, we didn't give them money. We just lifted sanctions off of their bank accounts in South Korea. Okay, so we gave them their money back and put it back in their economy. But what the JCPOA did is gave us 24/7 oversight over their nuclear capabilities. During the time in the JCPOA, they were not building nuclear capabilities because we were overseeing. They had no nuclear capabilities because we were overseeing it. And then when Donald Trump took us out, that was basically like a green light allowing them to do it. And that's when they started to do it. And then in 2025, he did what he had to do and destroyed the nuclear capabilities. So I think that's the first point that you made in terms of the nuclear capabilities. They had none. And there was a report done that they didn't have them. And then we destroyed them. If they hypothetically did. Donald Trump did it in 2025. And then I adjusted JCPOA, which would be that it was a good thing. Okay. We oversaw their nuclear programs 24/7. Okay. Now we did give them some of their own money back, but we did not give them any of our money. We just lifted sanctions off of bank accounts.
Yeah.
And then the school, I don't think 7 U.S. service members dying, 150 people being injured in terms of U.S. Service members, 165 children murdered, thousands of Iranians killed, thousands injured, and tens of Israelis killed, hundreds of Israelis injured, and all across the Middle East, involving now 22 different countries. I don't think that's good. Okay, we're going into an endless war, and you think about this. You say you don't mind the gas prices going up, and I just want to address this point because I don't think enough people are talking about this. Okay, yeah, it might not impact you as much, but think about the countries that are in poverty, right? Think about the countries that are in poverty, and they are literally starving. Okay, because the Strait of Hormuz has now mines. We're thinking like about a dozen, and oil can't go through. That's going to increase prices in those countries, and people are going to starve to death because they cannot afford their food. Okay, that is genuinely going to happen if this lasts a long time, especially countries countries everywhere, right? That is genuinely going to impact their life. It's going to impact the entire world. Now, it may not impact you as much because here in America, we have it decently well, right? I mean, there's obviously we have a lot of homelessness here, and that issue should be addressed.
Yeah.
But compared to these other countries, they don't have millions. They don't have they're not in poverty is what I'm trying to say, and that's gonna negatively impact them heavily, and people will die of starvation. And this is studied by multiple reports, so it may not impact you, me, and a lot of other people in terms of gas prices, but it's still going to impact us in some way or some form, and it's also going to impact millions of other people across the globe, even killing some people because they can't afford food.
Yeah. Do you think, but I mean, you have to also take into account that in, 2025, that Israel and Iran were in the middle of a war. And I think that was pretty much put to stop after the whole bombing of their nuclear facilities by the U.S. It kind of put everything to a halt, at least for the moment. And then everything kind of just started up as of late. But those people are going to die from wars that Iran is inciting as well. I think that's not.
The thing is, Iran never struck anyone until we struck them first, or Israel in 2025 struck them first. As soon as Israel struck them, they struck one of our bases in 2025. As soon as we struck them in 2026, they struck all of our bases. All across the Middle East. Now, I don't agree with them striking residential areas. Now, they did say that they warned us that they were going to strike all the bases across the Middle East, and they said that was fair game. Okay, which is okay. Do I agree with war? Absolutely not. But they warned us. They said, hey, if you strike us, we're going to strike all your bases across the Middle East. Now, is that what they're doing? No, they struck Cyprus, which is horrible. NATO had to intercept missiles across Turkish airspace, which is horrible. So the thing is, I don't agree with the Iranian regime, right? They are a state sponsor of terror. The world's largest state sponsor of terror. But the thing is, if you look back at history, we already tried this in 1953. There was a U.S.-backed coup that when we killed their supreme leader. That led to decades of civil war in Iran. And in 1979 is when the Iranians overthrew, or the regime now in power overthrew their own government and killed their king. And then that's how they got into power, right? So what's to prevent that from not happening again?
It's a great question, but I mean, how much control do we have? I mean, yeah, you have to look at it from a perspective too of, they have a history of terror, like you said, and I agree with you on that. But, we can hope for an overthrow of the regime. And yes, could we end up in the same spot that we are? No, but it is for the hope of the people in Iran that someone will step up that actually does have good morals, that does not, kill people on the streets, and for, whatever they're doing. I know there's a lot of things like anti-women and stuff like that it's a very masculine, like it's very a men-focused country, as far as like who's in power and stuff like that. And there's a lot of degradation of women, and I don't believe in that, of course. But, it's like, how much are we going to stand for a country that's going to keep doing this over and over again? Launch terroristic attacks against the U.S. How long are we going to keep dealing with it before we confront the problem face on? Because if we just let them just kind of sit there and keep doing their thing, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I mean, it's something like if you keep letting a bully just keep getting away with, bullying these kids left and right, he's going to keep doing it, right?
American intervention has never, it rarely works in Cuba. Like we tried it in Iraq in the early 2000s when Bush brought us, Bush, in the Iraq war. You have Venezuela. We've done it multiple times in history, and we recently did it. And then you have Iran. We've done it in history, and we're doing it again. And it rarely ever works. So not just those, multiple other countries across the world and across history, American history. We've tried it. We've tried American intervention, and it rarely works. Now, I agree with you. They're a terrorist regime, and they should be out of power. Now, I agree that they should be held to justice. I think that my only issue here is we killed off their supreme leader in a targeted strike.
Now his son's in power.
We struck a school, and now the streets in Iran are literally on fire. Donald Trump has said that he's going to raise hell, fire, and fury in Iran. Okay.
Yeah.
To the point where they cannot rebuild. Okay. Why? If we want the Iranian people to have power back, why are we going to destroy their country to the point where they can't rebuild it, according to Donald Trump's own words?
No, it's kind of
the only issue here is going to be the contradictions within the administration. Pete Hegseth said it's not a regime war. It's not a regime change war. Donald Trump said it is. Marco Rubio said it isn't. Donald Trump said it was going to be a multi-day war. It went from multi-day to multi-week to now multi-month. It could be until September. And the first week of the war cost us $11.8 billion.
I know the war costs a lot. Trust me, I'm very aware of that.
My point is, it's unnecessary. We could do targeted strikes. We could do operations in terms of getting the regime out of power and in backing a certain group of individuals that have the interest of the Iranian people. Right? I mean, I like I said, I have no experience in the military. Now, do I talk to people who do? Yeah. But I don't think that bombing their country and raising "quote unquote" hellfire and fury is a good thing, especially if we want the Iranian people to have power again and rebuild their country.
Yeah. No, and I can agree with you on some points. I definitely get the failed acts of America kind of stepping in and trying to. American intervention, I think, is the word that you used. Correct me if I misspoke, but no, I get your point. I definitely do, and I'm not one of those people that's let's any country that disagrees with us or we have problems with, let's just go in there and bomb the shit out of them. No, I don't I don't believe that. I think there's a point to world peace, and you want to get to that point. Now, I think there's also a point of being of who's in power and the strength of, because that's honestly probably the other reason why I didn't vote for Kamala, and it's not because she's a woman. Don't confuse this with that she's a woman. I don't want to. That would sound so wrong. But I think that countries feared Trump for this reason specifically more, and there's there's more people willing to negotiate with the United States because we have somebody in power that will not put up with the terroristic acts that they're committing or the wrongful doings of their country. And they won't put up with any threat to the United States. I think there was a little bit of weakness within the Biden administration, hence why I really didn't vote for Kamala, because I didn't believe in what she did as a vice president, and there was no reason for me to vote for her for president.
Okay, you made a couple points there. You said people actually like I guess to put it in my own words, you said people fear him, and so that he takes out terrorist regimes. My only issue here is it's going to be like false. I mean, Donald Trump had a phone call with Putin, and he said that they wanted to work together. They had their full support in terms of ending the Iranian war, the U.S.-Iran war, and then literally a day later, not less than a day later, they released a statement saying that they're backing Iran completely, right? They released a statement. They released a statement to the press that they were going to completely back Iran. They've obviously given intelligence to Iran, and even we had some reports. Now they weren't credible. Okay,
who did? Sorry,
wait,
I missed who you said. Who did? Sorry,
Putin and Trump had a phone call.
Okay,
yeah. So I don't know if the next thing I'm going to say is credible. So don't quote me on that. But there were reports that Iran was going to launch drones, or not launch, that Iran was going to do something with drones in California. Okay, that's what the FBI reported. Then they said that there was no threat, that they just wanted, it was for precaution, basically. And obviously Iran doesn't have that. We know of any capabilities of reaching mainland. Now, what they could do is in terms of boats and doing it from there if they had the capabilities, but that's what reports from the FBI that's what they were investigating. So in terms of that they fear him, I mean, I doubt it. I mean, Donald Trump is being used by Putin, right, in terms of the Russia and Ukraine war, and now even with Iran. Iran is literally, like, Iran is not backing down. They've elected their new supreme leader, and they're obviously not going to back down.
Yeah.
There's no ceasefire in place. You have Benjamin Netanyahu as well. I mean, we're going to war for Israel here. I don't think he's strong in terms of Harris. In the second point that you did, you don't like what she did as vice president. I mean, what is, like, JD Vance done as vice president? A and B, like what did she do that you didn't like that she did as vice president?
Well, I think as far as, because she was in control of the border, correct?
Yeah, no, she was not the border zone. She, her task was to raise money for Central American countries like Guatemala, Honduras, and raise money for their economy. And she raised billions of dollars to decrease the amount of undocumented entry into our country, which she perfectly accomplished. Well, that was a task. As far as, like,
did you say decreasing illegal immigration? Did you say that?
From those certain countries, yes. Like
okay.
Honduras, Guatemala. We saw a decrease in undocumented entry after she raised billions of dollars for their economy, yes.
Right. So, I mean, but then there's still the issue of, I mean, I'm pretty sure she did. I know she wasn't the border Caesar, but what I do believe she did have some control as far as the border. I can't quote you on what source, but I've heard it now multiple times. Even I think from even people on the left say that she did have control over some of the border. That was something that she was tasked to do as vice president. And I mean, how many people did we let in from the Biden administration? I think it was upwards of 400,000 or something like that. It was crazy. In
terms of undocumented entry, I mean, more left-leaning reports say 4 million, right-leaning reports say 15 million.
Yeah,
I say let them in.
My liberals off.
I don't care if they come in undocumented. I really don't. That's not the issue. The issue is going to be the process. I mean, I want to decrease undocumented entry. I do, in terms of so people don't get exploited. But okay, let them in. Let them come in undocumented. I mean, they're 2.5 times less likely to commit any sort of violent crime or bad crime, and they contribute into their economy. Again, my only issue would be the fact that they get exploited. Now, most people on the left don't agree with me, right? That's going to be a very far left thing to just say let them in, but they're not the issue. They are not the issue. It's going to be the process. If you want to decrease undocumented entry, you should have voted for Harris, because Joe Biden and Harris tried to pass a bipartisan border bill, which was going to fund more immigration judges and more immigration courts, which would decrease undocumented entry in the long run, because it would make it more faster and cheaper, right? And that's the core issue of undocumented entry. People choose to come here undocumented because it's too expensive and it takes too long. So we have to fix that core issue, which Biden and Harris tried to do. Trump torpedoed the bill by telling them not to vote for it, by telling Republicans in office not to vote for it. And so here we are. Nothing has been done for decades upon decades under so many presidents. The first time that Biden and Harris tried to do something since Obama, when he did what he did in terms of DACA, it got torpedoed because of Trump. And Trump is doing nothing to address long-term solutions for the core issue.
You don't think the golden visa, or the whatever it's called, the golden card, the gold card or whatever, is a good is a part of a good solution?
No.
Yeah, no.
Why?
Because that doesn't address the core issue of undocumented entry A and B. That's just gonna be like a non-issue in terms of letting millionaires come into our country.
Also,
but the point that I was just bringing here doesn't address the core issue of undocumented entry.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, do you not see that we have way less undocumented immigrants coming in the country right now?
Temporarily, as soon as there's someone else in office that doesn't violate human rights or constitutional rights, there's going to be undocumented entry. Why? Because for decades, the core issue hasn't been addressed. It's not just Trump fault. It's, I mean, I can even put some blame on Biden and Harris. I mean, maybe they did concede. They conceded on Ukraine. They put it in a different bill. That bill passed. So I think they did good. But, you can put some blame on every administration for not addressing the core issue. Like I said, violating human rights and constitutional rights.
Can I say something real quick?
Go for it.
Why do you think the Trump gold card is good?
Why?
Yeah.
It brings more money to the United States, and it brings millionaires and billionaires into the United States.
Why is that good?
Why? More businesses, more jobs. Billionaires are not going to just sit on their money. They're going to create businesses, which then creates more jobs. And that's not trickle down economics. That's just basic.
They're still more likely to outsource their production, even if they move here.
What do you mean? Like to have their warehouses and workers outsourced into other countries?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Costs of production.
Yeah, but didn't also Trump put a very high, I think it was like something for businesses didn't he give them a huge tax break for businesses to make in America? Ford actually went along with it. They have like all their production in America and they have a huge benefit because
Ford was already producing almost everything in America.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like they're getting a huge benefit from it because they are producing in America. Same with Tesla, I believe.
What tax cut?
Huh?
What tax cut?
I said a benefit. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say what tax cut because I don't know, but I know they are getting benefits from it because I remember it.
What is the benefit?
Huh?
What is the benefit? What is the executive order? What is the law passed?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I don't have the exact research.
You shouldn't just say things without a source to back it up.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people say with source without things to back up. I think we've actually had a couple of things where he's like, "Don't back me on this," and I said, "Don't back." I'm like, I'm not sure exactly where it came from, but I do know that they are getting some sort of benefit. I could probably, if you give me 2 seconds, I could probably look it up right now. I guarantee you, without a doubt in my mind, they are getting benefited for building in America, 100%. Without
feel free to take a moment to look it up. And in terms of when I said not bad, in terms of numbers, I mean, I get it. Numbers get mixed up. That's why I say like don't comment that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like zoned out of the conversation. But if you want to take a moment to get a source for
no, I'm just saying it's important to distinguish what benefit it is because there can be good benefits and there can be bad benefits in the sense of which, like benefits as in tax cuts for the millionaires, that's bad because that's trickle down economics, which hasn't worked in the past. It's just created horrible income inequality in this country.
If you want to support the live, the best way you can do so while this person is looking up their sources, make sure to double tap that phone screen, hit that follow button if you haven't already. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel, linked in my bio over live on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? I see you guys over there watching. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. You can also check out my Spotify. We have exclusive episodes over there on Spotify. You can check my Venmo PayPal account if you guys want to support. Not necessary, but feel free to do so. What was that?
I forgot about that. What are you posting on there?
Exclusives, not really. I'm just posting you. I have 2 episodes on. I have 2 episodes on Spotify. I haven't debated because of the ban the other day, so I don't have time to like edit them and put them on Spotify. I also have Instagram if you guys wanna check that out. Everything's in the bio, quite frankly.
Okay, yeah. So, I just did some research. I'm super bad at like remembering things as I read them, but I can give you a couple things. Then I would have to go back and like read more of it. But
you can just give me a source, and I
can give you a source. Let me just give you the actual source itself. Mm-hmm. 1 second.
Oh, you have to be in the. I think I don't know if you know, but you have to be in the app for us to hear you.
Oh,
yeah. Here you go. I'm pasting it in the chat. Do you guys want me to paste like the actual like source in the chat so you guys can look it up for yourselves, or do you want?
You can just do the link or the title. I don't care.
Oh, character limited? Are you kidding me?
You can just do the title if it's easier. I mean, unless it's a long title.
Yeah, let me give you a title. It's house.gov, but let me give you the exact title.
Perfect. Yeah, make sure to double tap that phone. So we can try to get to 5,000 likes here in the next couple of minutes. Show some love to my co-host here as well. And there's 14 of you. We're going to do a restart after this conversation. We should get more people in here. But yeah, make sure.
Oh, by the way, Jeremiah, I finished.
I can't, like, it's not, my phone's kind of screwing up with Safari, but it's the ways and the means at house.gov or something like that. And it's about the Big Beautiful Bill Act and the R&D that has to do with.
Is that the title is the ways and the means?
Yeah, I believe so. It's like the website. I couldn't pull up the title because it's like my phone has it shifted all the way to the right or the left, like the actual article. But I asked Gemini, I copied and pasted the article onto Gemini to give me like talking points, but I can't actually like, hey, I'm going to be honest. I don't even care if you guys like hate on me for using Gemini. It's a great tool.
As long as you're able to present the source, like with like the actual website and it says what you're saying. I mean, what can I say about that? I mean, using AI, that's controversial for some people, but here we're just talking about, the source that you said the ways and the means, house.gov. I don't know if
what is like a part? What is it about? Like which part of the site?
Yeah, the title of the site. Yeah, that'd be great. Because I'm on the website right now.
No, I'm also on the website. Yeah. Also, the website Ways and Means.
It's the United States Committee on the Ways and the Means, and then the title of the article is the One Big Beautiful Bill made in. I'm gonna have to swipe out for a second. Mm-hmm. In America. Becomes the norm, not the novelty. Did you get all that?
No.
Okay, hold on. It says the One Big Beautiful Bill made in America becomes the norm, not the novelty.
What did you say?
The One Big Beautiful Bill made in America becomes the norm, not the novelty. Give me 1 second. I'm looking that up here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Bam. Oh yeah, perfect. Found it. Okay, so what was the claim that you made that Max asked you for a source?
Yeah, so I mean,
he said there was benefits,
and there's tax benefits. There's tax benefits in that regard.
We were the ones having the conversation about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and the you right? we had a conversation in terms of.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, if you make more than $400,000 a year, it's gonna. I mean, there is gonna be benefits for you. We had that. Yeah, we had that conversation. We agreed on some points. We disagreed on some other points.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is like common with Democrats and Republicans. Obviously, you lean more right, I lean more left. But then again, my point would just be, I don't think that that's one of the reasons why you voted for Trump, because again, millions of people and hundreds of thousands of children are negatively impacted because of this administration, compared to the people that make $400,000 a year that will benefit from the TCJA and the One Big Beautiful Bill. So that's just going to be my point.
Yeah,
we already kind of addressed that. If there's any other point that you wanted to talk about,
I wanted to add one other thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you know what the core issues in the legal process are?
The court issues and the legal processes are
like
for what?
Immigration process.
Oh, no, because I've never immigrated. But I mean, no, I haven't looked it up.
It's time and money. It's how long it takes and how expensive it is.
Or enlist in the military. That one too.
No, I'm just saying that the legal process for immigration takes a long time and it costs a lot of money, which is why people choose to go through the undocumented immigrants.
Do you think that America should be cheap and should be fast?
Immigration, yes, should be cheaper and should be quicker, yes.
Why?
It would allow more people to come here illegally.
And why would we want that? I'm just curious. Like,
well, it would decrease. So, like I was telling you before, it would just decrease undocumented entry at a greater extent. And we would rather have legal migration instead of illegal migration. I mean, me personally, if they just let them in, I mean, they're not the issue. But I would rather have legal migration than illegal migration. That would just be the incentive there. But,
it would be an incentive, and it just causes a boost in the economy.
I mean, I think if any country can get away with it costing a lot of time and a lot of money, and it's okay for it to be that way, is America, because it is one of the greatest countries in the world. I'm not going to say it is.
On what scale?
Huh?
On what scale?
On what scale for what? What claim?
For the America is the greatest country. What scale?
Freedom, and freedom.
Let's look at the freedom index.
The Nordic states.
What did you say?
I don't know which country. In terms of the freedom index, I think they're going to be the Nordic states. I could be wrong. Give me a second here. Human freedom index. Switzerland, Denmark, and New Zealand are top 3.
Yeah.
You have Ireland, Luxembourg, Estonia, Finland. So, in terms of human freedom, we are not the top. If you want to talk about, there's other ones. My computer's lagging, but there's also global freedom, media freedom.
Well, it depends on what kind of I guess the definition of freedom that they're basing that off of, right? Are they basing that off of laws that are in place in those countries, or are they basing that off of like the people's rights?
Well, here it says freedom is inherently valuable social concept that recognizes the dignity of
individual freedoms ranging from the right to vote to freedom of expression and equality before the law.
Okay.
12 categories of the human freedom index. Rule of law, security and safety of movement, religion, association, assembly and civil society, expression and information, relationships, size of government, legal systems. And then if you want to reference the global freedom, Finland, Sweden, and Norway, media freedom, Norway, Estonia, and Netherlands, freedom components, Switzerland, Denmark, and I don't know how to check.
Check it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So we're definitely not, in terms of freedom and any sort of freedom, we're not the best country in the world.
We're not on the top of the freedom index. So
what would you say that we don't have that those countries do have?
Greater access to healthcare.
Yeah, I mean,
is that freedom?
I mean, in terms of like what's going on now, in like the most recent months, since Donald Trump got into office, you can like address what's been going on there, in terms of like the constitutional crisis that Donald Trump has put us in. But in terms of how they measure this, I mean, we could look in terms of
if you look through states, ABs, trans rights, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can.
Even Canada,
you can bring that up for ABs and stuff like that, but I think that's a whole different discussion that I'm not going to get into, because if you discuss it with, I don't know, it's a losing battle for me to discuss that with the leftists. I don't think I'll ever get my idea out with that specific component and topic, which is fine. But
well, listen, we've had a pretty respectful conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're
sure.
if you're willing, I mean, you said you don't want to get into it now, but if you're willing, some other day we can talk about abortion. And I mean, not with me. I don't debate. I don't debate like another man in terms of abortion, because that's just like a waste of my time, a waste of their time. But my people here on my panel will be willing to debate abortion with you. They're also very respectful if you're up for that a different day.
And then I'll talk to you about it.
So I just wanted. So you said America's the greatest. So give me another thing. What do you think we're at the top of?
I mean, Max, I think when it comes down to it, as far as America goes, we have a lot of things that probably half the world doesn't have. Yes, we have homelessness. Yes, we have homelessness, but we have a lot of, even though it's been cut out a lot by Trump, but we have, we had Medicaid, we had the food stamps, we have a lot of things that probably a lot of countries do not supply for. I'm not saying countries do it.
I'm not saying we're the worst country in the world. I'm saying we're not the top. We're not the greatest country.
We're definitely not the top anymore, just because, I mean, some of our politicians are a joke, Donald Trump included. Like, don't get me wrong.
You shouldn't support Trump, man.
If you think he's a joke, then why do you support bruh?
Because I think Kamala's more of a joke, but that's just my personal opinion. But like, it's no hate to you guys for what you guys believe in or any like disagreements. But
you don't think that the U.S. is the greatest country?
No, but it is top. It is one. I said it's one of the greatest countries. I never said it was the greatest country.
But like, what makes it one of the greatest countries in the sense of, because we don't rank in the top 3 for freedom.
I think it's just all based on your scale. I mean, I think that scale is significantly skewed, because I think if you're talking about like religious freedom, no one's going to jail for what religion they believe in. No one's going to jail for what they practice. They have freedom of speech.
Other countries have that as well.
Correct. But what I'm saying is we do have one of the greatest countries because we do have freedom. Not saying that we're the top in freedom. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we were one of the greatest countries because of that aspect. Not saying we rank top between other countries because, like, in the freedom scale or whatever the hell that is. I've never even heard of it before.
Freedom Index?
The Freedom Index. Yeah. I've never heard of that before. But like what I am saying is the aspects of our country that we have. I mean, we have very good housing. We have a lot of construction. We have access to a lot of healthcare. We probably are pretty up there as far as like our professionals and doctors and stuff like that, of how good we are, and not necessarily like how cheap our healthcare is, but how good our healthcare is performing wise.
How are we supposed to test performance if it's only allowed to a small proportion of people?
What do you mean?
Do you know how much healthcare costs in the U.S.?
How much? I mean, it really depends on what.
Let's look at the average cost of insulin in the U.S.
Average cost of insulin?
Yes, a life-saving medication.
I mean, with insurance or without insurance?
Average would be counting both.
I mean, I don't actually know any diabetics actually, which is crazy to me. Besides one, but I just don't talk to him much. Probably my best guess without looking it up, and I totally will accept defeat on getting it wrong, but probably like $70 to $80 the median between insurance and non-insurance, probably. I don't know. Could be wrong.
So according to the NIH, let me find it. From 2014 to 2019, the average annual insulin price rose 55%, from $3,819 a year, or I think, yeah, to $5,917 a year.
Like so for like a full year of insulin.
Yes, but that's the average. Do you think that it's fine to price out people their life-saving medication to be $5,917 a year?
No.
Do you know for low income what's the average income like of what's the average income in America?
I think it's like I looked this up the other day. I think it's like somewhere between 47 and like 55, I think, thousand a year salary.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think it's somewhere in that. Like, it's awful. Don't get me wrong.
Well, listen, man. We've talked on a lot of points. I mean, we talked about like we talked about immigration. We talked about in terms of Iran. We talked about economics. We hit on the minimum wage, and now we talked about a little bit about healthcare and whether or not America is truly the best country in the entire world. Is there any other points that you want to?
I want to ask. I just want 2 more points. I want 2 more points. One, ambulance costs also insane to the point where people will drive themselves to the hospital when they should not be driving themselves to the hospital. They should be getting an ambulance because of how much it costs.
Oh, ambulance costs? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen them before because my kid had to go in an ambulance. Trust me, it ain't cheap.
That's what I'm saying. Other countries don't have that. Other countries look at us when we say, "Oh no, don't call an ambulance. It costs too much," and they look at us like they're laughing at us, basically.
But I never made the claim that our healthcare was cheap. I never said that. I just said that our healthcare professionals are one of the best.
But why would it be good to have good professionals if it's only like applicable to a small amount of population due to income? And how can you truly decide how effective a medication is if it's only allowed to a small population? Again.
Yeah, and I get the point, but I think also
then that just goes back to the conversation that we were having in terms of like the wages being kept up with how much these corporations and billionaires and millionaires work, which we agreed on in terms of the wages keeping up. I mean, again, I don't remember the exact number, but it would be like triple the amount that the wages is now in terms of it keeping up with how much they're making. Which is why these like, and again, like healthcare is a big issue that does need to be addressed. It's expensive, and I mean, I think a good start would be what Bernie offered, Medicaid for all, and go from there. And healthcare for all, free healthcare for all.
I have a question. Oh shit! It's my last question. Okay, what are your thoughts on Obamacare? Do you think it's good or bad overall?
So let me just put this in perspective for you, because I'm not going to be educated on this topic. I think when Obama was in office, he was 2008 to 2016. I was 5 when he first came into office, and then when he came out of office, I was 13. So like, to be honest, I never really saw it firsthand or like understood it, and I never really honestly took to study it. So really no bias. I mean, I heard that we spent a lot of tax dollars on Obamacare, and I don't always like being taxed. I don't think that you should be taxed for getting your money up, to be honest. And like in my best words, like I don't think you should be. You shouldn't be taxed higher, but like that's just my general.
Hold on. One last point, really quickly to just wrap this up. Because I do need to restart, but just to go back to the very first thing we talked about tariffs, right?
Yeah.
So just to go back, so I mean, first, I mean, I like have disagreements with the AC. It saves life. Don't get me wrong, but I think that it needs to be further addressed. It needs to be completely like redone. But just to go back, in terms of what you just said, you don't like being taxed to get money, then you definitely don't support the tariffs, because that is a tax on me and you. You definitely don't support the global blanket tariffs, which is what we talked about, just to bring back manufacturing jobs or bring back investment, right?
I mean, I never said I don't support taxes. I said I don't support people being higher taxed because of how much money they make.
Do you want to fly?
You're gonna have to repeat that. I got a phone call one more time.
I said I never support. I didn't say didn't support taxes. Taxes have to be done to run a country. If you didn't have taxes, a country wouldn't run. But I don't believe in the fact that that if you make more money, you're taxed more.
Do you believe in a flat tax rate?
In some, I don't think no, I wouldn't say I believe in a flat tax rate, but what I would believe in is a low, is not necessarily a huge break for the people that are making more money, but rather it being less extraneous. Like, I mean, if you're in, I think if it's like you're over, I don't know if it still is, but like if you're over like $160,000, maybe before Trump was in office, you're taxed at like 30%. Like, I don't know, that's like a shit ton of money. Like, and that's not enough money you're not making enough money to be taxed that high. Maybe it's 200. Don't quote me on that. But like, when you start getting like your money up a little bit, you're just taxed higher. So that means you make less money. And it's just like, if you worked hard for that money, why does it need to be taken at a higher rate? Because you make
the
more
thing
money.
is that's just like how the United States is. But Harris's plan was just to tax income after 400,000, increase the taxes, but which I agree with. In terms of people who make millions or billions, I think that they should be taxed 50%. Now, someone who makes 400,000, I definitely don't think that the 400,000 should be taxed 50%. I think that would be absurd. But people who make millions and billions should definitely be taxed 50% in terms of that. But I am going to have to get off now, so I appreciate the conversation.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the respectful conversation. It actually goes a long way. I do guys respect your opinion, and I definitely learned a lot from you guys, and I appreciate you guys taking the time.
I'm glad we spoke to you. Definitely a refreshing conversation. If you ever want to debate abortion or talk about abortion, make sure to join it back on the live and definitely have a conversation with us. It'll definitely go well.
I'll give you a follow. You too.
Of course, take care. Have a great night. Anyways, guys, I'm going to hop off. I will see you guys tomorrow. I was on for an hour and a half today. That is all I'm doing for the next couple days. So I will see you guys tomorrow.
Are you going to finish Designated Survivor?
I'm probably going to go to bed. My head hurts. I'm really tired. So I'm probably.
It's probably because the screens.
Probably. Anyways, chat. I will see you guys. Glasses. I will see you guys.
Guys, it was an interesting night. Chat. It was an interesting night. It was interesting. But there's no other place I would rather spend it but with you and all of you. It was awesome. It was awesome. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. I'm really hoping that we can take a couple lessons away from this, and I really feel like a lot of people hearts are in the right places, but if we can get their hearts and minds in the right places, then we can all go to the right place together. So we got